It's 6 a.m. in Dhaka, and it is a very strange morning. It's election day here, and there is no traffic on the street. The whole night there's been nothing. It's just been dead quiet in here. I could hear dogs barking, I could hear roosters crowing, I could hear all kinds of things I could never hear before, but no horn honking, no bells, no traffic. All night long it was almost impossible to sleep because it was so unusual. This could be a very unusual day. Listen to that. That is so strange. I can hear birds tweeting out there. I have to go take a look for myself. And there it is, election day in Dhaka. A rickshaw. And that's it. Never seen the street look like this. A rooster crowing, you can actually hear it. This is amazing. Never seen anything like this. Isn't that crazy? And it's not just the real world that's so quiet, it's the virtual world too. Last night I couldn't get on the internet, and when I started investigating, I found this message on my SIM card. Did you see that? Beside my SIM card it says suspended. At first I thought it was just me, my SIM card or my account. There was some problem with it. But then I started thinking that maybe they shut down the whole internet for the election, just for security reasons. Time for an update. It's almost 10 a.m. now, and nothing has changed. The streets are completely empty. I can actually hear people talking on the street. I hear voices from outside, which is astonishing. On other normal days, there is so much traffic noise that even standing 2 or 3 feet away from someone, you can't hear their voice. Now I can hear them from 200 feet away. It's eerie. And I spoke to the clerk here at the Al Razak Hotel. He speaks fairly good English, and he cleared up a mystery for me, and I'm quite relieved that the internet is closed for everyone. It isn't just me. I was worried that somehow my account or my SIM card I had a problem with it and I'd have to get a new one and have all these hassles. But he can't get on the internet. Nobody except for the army, government, and security services have access to the internet. It's been shut off for everyone else in the country. And that is also such a weird feeling. I've never been anywhere where that has happened before. I also asked the clerk here if it was safe to go outside, or if it was even allowed to go outside. I wasn't sure if there was some kind of a law that you had to stay off the streets until a certain hour unless you were going to the polls. But according to him, no, it's fine. You can go outside. I mean, everything is closed. Probably every restaurant, every shop, everything. So there's really nothing to go see, nothing to go do, but I definitely have to go outside just to see this for myself, just to see these empty streets. Welcome to Dhaka on election day. On a lot of websites, Dhaka is listed as the most densely populated city in the world. In my experience, it's certainly pretty crowded, and it's like probably the busiest place I've ever been. But today, everything is different. Look at that street. Just blows my mind. I can count a couple of rickshaws. There is a police car down there, and that makes sense. There's a crowd of people there. I'm assuming that's a polling station. And that's about it. No buses, no cars, nothing open. No one selling snacks at the side of the street. Nothing going on. In the other direction as well. I'm a big fan of sci-fi of any type, and in my lifetime I've seen a ton of Twilight Zone episodes, zombie apocalypse movies, zombie apocalypse TV shows, and that's what it feels like right now. You know, I feel a little bit like Rick Grimes waking up in the hospital to find out that while he was in a coma, the world ended. He goes out on the street and there's nobody there. That's what Dhaka feels like. And I'm going to head out for a walk through these empty streets. Even the gate to get outside of my hotel is closed. The lock isn't closed, so I guess I can still go out. Well, these are my first couple of minutes out on the quiet streets. Turns out the padlock on my hotel door actually was locked, and they had to go find the guard with the key to unlock it and let me outside. I'd swear I was in another city. This can't possibly be Dhaka. But there's certainly no question that there's an election going on. I was already passed by 2 trucks jammed with fully armed soldiers. And these are not your weekend soldiers, you know, guarding a museum or something. These were full-on assault troops, and they had all the gear to put down any kind of trouble they came across. So I'm trying to be very, very quiet and look like I'm not here to cause any trouble at all. This is so crazy. You can actually walk on the street, not because you are forced to, because the sidewalk is jammed, but just because it's open. You can walk anywhere you like. I haven't heard a single horn since I've come outside. I suppose if I were interested in politics, I would find a polling station and check out what's going on, but I'm really not a political person at all. I don't even know the names of the political parties here or who is running. And it's weird enough just being a tourist here with the camera. And as I may have mentioned a couple of times, there are elections going on in Bangladesh. And throughout the night and throughout the day, you get a lot of processions like this for different candidates. Hello, how are you? Pretty good. Good. Thank you. And this is the candidate everyone here is supporting. Okay.
Mr. Bobby Hajjaj, Dhaka, the parliament election of Iran. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Getting some good footage.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. Hello.
Hajjaj bodyguard. Hajjaj bodyguard.
Hello. Thank you. One of the men in the truck there, he told me that this man is a candidate for Prime Minister. I'll have to find out who he is. I was just passed by a troop of about 15 police, and they stopped to chat with me, shake my hand. As I was saying before, I've no real interest in politics, and I think even if I went near a polling station with a camera, everybody would think I'm a journalist. Even now, everyone assumes I'm a journalist everywhere I go. I didn't tell the story because I wasn't keeping a vlog at that time, but I had trouble when I arrived at the airport here in Bangladesh. My plan was to apply for a visa on arrival, 30-day visa, which is pretty standard, and I ended up getting held at the airport for 9 hours. They held me there overnight so that I could be interviewed by some senior immigration officials in the morning, and the whole problem was that they thought I was a journalist. since they thought I was a journalist, they wanted to make sure that I really was a tourist and that I wasn't here to cover the elections. My interview with the most senior immigration officer went okay, and I convinced them that I really was a tourist. But even so, they wouldn't give me a 30-day visa on arrival because that would have extended my stay up to the election. They let me into the country, but they only gave me a 20-day visa. They didn't know, apparently, that I could then get an extension, which I've since done. I don't have a particular mission or goal for today. I just wanted to walk around the streets and see them being this quiet. But I'm heading down towards the river, of course. It's near my hotel. And I thought if the streets were this empty, maybe the river would look quite different as well. As expected, the river is just as quiet as the streets. I see one barge over there, two of the passenger taxis going across, the river taxis. Here's a terminal with the big launches, but it's closed. There's the main gate to head down to the ferries, and it's closed and locked. So there don't appear to be any boats going anywhere either. This city is locked down tight. On all my walks around Dhaka, I have to say that this street that I'm standing on now is by far the busiest and the hardest to walk down. And here on election day, it's like the Indy 500. It's like an open boulevard. You can go anywhere you want. Not to sound again like a broken record, but this is blowing my mind. I've been to this location several times, and you can barely move here normally. And right today, completely empty. You could play a game of cricket here, a game of baseball or soccer or something. Election day is really something. I think we're coming up on a polling booth. Thought I'd just keep the camera running to see what I can see. As you can see, it's taking place on just a table. The battery on my camera is slowly running out, and I think I'm going to end my election day walkabout video here. About 2 blocks back, I was stopped by the police again, and this time the man in charge identified himself as an election security official. He was dressed in very slick civilian clothing, you know, the James Bond sunglasses, the whole deal, and he just wanted to make sure that I wasn't a journalist. And then he asked if he could pose for a selfie with me, which was kind of a neat trick because the other police officer took a picture of the two of us together, but I think what he really wanted was just a picture of me, and he got it by pretending it was a selfie with a tourist. But I think I've seen everything that I want to see today, and it's time to end this video, and I'll see you in the next one. The bonus question for the last video was, what is my real first name? Michael, Jonathan, Stephen, or Douglas? The answer is Douglas. In Canada, I usually go by just Doug, but I found that in Asia it's difficult for people to pronounce Doug. It always comes out as duck or dog, so I generally tell people my name is Douglas. The bonus question for this video is about Cox's Bazaar. Cox's Bazaar is a famous place here in Bangladesh. What is it famous for? What is so special about it? Find out at the end of the next video.
A friend of mine recently did a vlog about banyan trees, and in his honor, I'm filming this one in old Dhaka. At least I think it's a banyan tree.